the Ewell place to get to and from work. Is there any other way to go?
No, sir. None I know of.
Tom, did she ever speak to you?
Well, yes, sir. I tip my hat when I go by, and one day she asked me to come inside the fence and bust up a shipper rope for her.
When did she ask you to chop up the shipper rope?
Mr. Finch, it was last spring. I remember it because it was chopping time, and I had my hoe with me. But she said she had a hatchet. She gave me the hatchet, and I broke up the shipper rope. She said, I reckon I have to give you a nickel, won't I? I said, no, ma'am. Pay no charge. Then I went home. Mr. Finch, that was way last spring, way over a year ago.
Did you ever go in that place again?
Yes, sir.
When?
Well, I went lots of times.
Under what circumstances?
Please, sir.
Why did you go inside the fence lots of times?
She called me in, sir. Seemed like every time I passed by yonder, she had a little something for me to do. Chopping kindling, tooting water for her. She watered them red flowers every day.
Were you paid for your services?
No, sir. Not that she offered me a nickel the first time. I was glad to do it. Mr. Ull didn't seem to help her none, and neither did the children. And I know she hadn't no nickel to spare.
Where were the other children?
They was always around, all over the place. They watched me work. Some of them sat in the window.
Would Miss Mayella talk to you?
Yes, sir. She talked to me.
Did you ever, at any time, go on the Ewell property? Did you ever set foot on the Ewell property without an invitation from one of them?
No, sir, Mr. Finch. I never did. I wouldn't do that, sir.
Tom, what happened to you on the evening of November 21st of last year?
Mr. Finch, I was going home as the usual evening, and when I passed the Ewell place, Miss Mayella were on the porch. Like she said she was. Just passing by when she says for me to come and help her for a minute. Well, I went inside the fence and looked around for some kindling work to work on, but I didn't see none. And she says, nah, I got something for you to do in the house. The old door is off its hinges and falls coming off pretty fast. I said, you got a screwdriver, Miss Mayella? She said she had. Well, I went up the steps and she motioned me to come inside. I went in the front room and looked at the door. I said, Miss Mayella, this door look all right? Why? It was so quiet like, and I ain't come to that there weren't a child on the place. That one of them, I said, Miss Mayella, where are the children? I said, where are the children? And she said she was laughing. Sort of. She says they're all going to town to get some ice cream. She says, it took me a slap to year to save them nickels, but I done it. They all going to town.
What did you say then, Tom?
Said something like, why, Miss Mayella? That's right smart of you to treat them. And she said, you think so? I don't think she understood what I was thinking. I meant it was smart of her to say like that, and it was nothing to treat them.
I understand you, Tom. Go on.
Well, I said I best be going. I couldn't do nothing for her. And she says, oh yes, I could. And I asked her what, and she says, just to step on that chair yonder and get that box down from the top of that shiffer rope.
Not the same shiffer rope you busted up?
Nah, sir. Another one. Most tall as the room. So I done what she told me, and I was just reaching when the next thing she knows, when I know, she grabbed me around the legs. Mr. Finch, she scared me so much, so bad, I hopped down and turned the chair over. That was the only thing. Only furniture stuffed in that room, Mr. Finch, when I left it. I swear for God.
What happened after you turned the chair over?
Tom, you're sworn to tell the truth. Will you tell it?
What happened after that?
Answer the question, Tom.
Mr. Finch, I got down off that chair and turned around and she sort of jumped on me.
Jumped on you? Violently?
No, sir. She hugged me. She hugged me around the waist.
Then what did she do?
She stopped and kissed me on the side of the face. She said she never kissed a grown man before, and she might as well kiss a nigger. She says her papa do to her don't count. She says, kiss me back, nigger. I said, Miss Mayella, let me out of here. I'm trying to run. But she got her back to the door, and I had to push her. I don't want to harm her, Mr. Finch. And I said, let me pass. But just when I said to Mr. Yule, y'all hunted through the window.
What did he say?
Something not fitting to say. Not fitting for these folks and children to hear.
What did he say, Tom? You must tell the jury what he said.
He says, you goddamn whore, I'll kill you.
Then what happened?
Mr. Finch, I was running so fast I didn't know what happened.
Tom, did you rape Mayella Ewell?
I did not, sir.
Did you harm her in any way?
I did not, sir.
Did you resist her advances?
Mr. Finch, I tried to. Stop being ugly to her. I didn't want to be ugly. I didn't want to push her or nothing.
Tom, go back once more to Mr. Ewell. Did he say anything to you?
Not anything, sir. He might have said something, but I weren't there.
That'll do. What did you hear? Who was he talking to?
He were talking and looking at Miss Mayella.
Then you ran?
I sure did, sir.
Why did you run?
I was scared, sir.
Why were you scared?
Mr. Finch, if you were a nigga like me, you'd be scared too. I didn't know why. I was studying while just passing by when she says for me to come and help her for a minute.
You say you had to pass the Ewell place to get to and from work. Is there any more place again?
Yes, sir.
When?
Well, I went lots of times.
Now watch me whip, kill it. Now watch me nay nay. Okay. Now watch me whip, watch me nay nay.